And we are off, I think. Yes, almost. Just waiting for the thing. Okay. We are live. It is 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. And it is Friday, March 31st, 2023 AD. Just checking my Odyssey. And, I am so exhausted. Along with David Hogg.
I'm so f***ing furious and exhausted of being here. How much f***ing longer are we going to talk about doors and mental health and talk about point at literally everything but the goddamn gun? Guess what? You think that we should have more cops in schools? There was a cop in Parkland. He failed. There were cops in Uvalde. They failed. There was a f***ing army of cops in Uvalde, and they failed. You know why? Because they were terrified to go in and face basically a teenager with an AR-15. We're not going to get out of here until every f***ing parent in America calls up their representatives and says, you need to f***ing do something about this or I am going to vote against you. I am a single issue voter and I am voting on this because the thing that matters to me most is the safety of my children and the safety of my kids for America's future. That is what's going to change this. We need to federalize Massachusetts state gun laws, which could cut gun deaths by 70%. This isn't theoretical. This is reality.
Thank you, David Hogg. I see why you are exhausted. This is Kyle. I don't know how to pronounce your name, man. Over there on the Facebook crew. Shout out to the Facebook crew. Yeah, his t-shirt still fits him. My t-shirts still fit me from high school. That's the high schooler guy. He's still in high school. Not. David Hogg from March Against Our Lives rally. He's the one who was running his big dumb mouth, a little skinny dumb mouth. Sorry, kids, don't say dumb. After the mass murder on Valentine's Day 2018, five years ago. And he's all, kids have to go and do what the adults don't want to. I miss that dykey girl who was also his classmate. I prefer to listen to her. JLP says never listen to the woman, but it's Women's History Month, and we cherish women. That short-haired gal, she's like more Hispanic looking than even David Hogg. I don't know what David Hogg is. They're from that liberal area in Florida, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, named after a woman. Psh, shout out to the women, ladies. He's so exhausted. You know he's a woman. You know he's a liberal. Terrible. But, yeah, he thinks that, and then he says, this is not theoretical, it's reality. When he says we could cut gun deaths by 60% or however much percent, this is not theoretical. If we did Massachusetts gun laws, Massachusetts is evil, by the way. They're the first ones to push gay marriage onto the people. And I think even Mitt Romney was governor of Massachusetts, so you know they're off the deep end evil. But Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New York, just the scum of the earth. New England is trash. Yankees, forget the Yankees. It's all about the Dixies. No, we cherish the Yanks. We do. We cherish you. But you're a bunch of liberals. Not very Christian either. Not the good kind of Christian. Liberal, phony people who violate the rights to guns and then violate the rights of the Christians by forcing the gay marriage agenda on them and then the kids and all that mess, pretending wrong is right. And that's no favor to the gays either, by the way. So it's ridiculous. They don't care about kids. David Hogg is just on an ego trip. But anyway, I have more nonsense mumbo jumbo from these liberals that I'll show later in this show. David Hogg, March for Our Lives. I remember I might have gotten a strike after I called these kids dumb. Sorry, kids. But they're not kids anymore, so I can bash them all I want. They're adults. It's not bullying. Or is it? He is kind of skinny. Is he skinnier than Hake? David Hogg. He's not a loser. Only in his heart is he a loser. Didn't Slightly Offensive clown him? He talked to him? I might have gotten one for bashing Greta Thunberg. So he's exhausted. That is theoretical. If you're talking about we could cut gun deaths, then you are talking theoretical because could does not denote reality. Hank is so edgy. If you're talking about this is not theoretical, it's reality. We could cut gun deaths. No such thing as a gun death. By 60% or however much percent. This is not theoretical. This is reality. Mr. Smarty Pants. Lame-o. Anyway, I think I've wrung out all that I can do for my trash talk of David Hogg. Wasn't he an actor? They're all a bunch of actors. All a bunch of phony actors on a stage. Fast-talking, know-it-all, arrogant. Talking about blanking parents. Every blanking parent say, ooh, you do something, politicians, to protect my kids. Always looking to the government to protect the kids who are our future. He thinks he's the drug-free class of 2000 or something like that. Ridiculous. That's what I was. Not the drug-free class of 99 in high school. So we were making fun of the younger kids. Drug-free class of 2000. They're like more into drugs than any of us. The young uns. They're not young guns. So, anyway, guys, we're going to be talking about that mess. Lame KJP, smart David Pakman, commie capitalist Mozilla-Firefox-Pocket pushing the transgender agenda. Watch out for sugar. It's a slow killer. It's poison. Even though Elon Musk eats a donut every morning, he probably has, according to Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, probably has diabetic. He's probably diabetes. He's probably diabetic. I mean, probably has diabetes. Compared to if you go by 20-year-olds standards. George Soros versus Alvin Bragg sitting in a tree. Fundraise ZING. And he's not the only one hiding behind. George Soros is not the only one. And the liberals are not the only ones hiding behind their Jewishiosity, because there's a Trump supporter, MAGA hat wearing man who was called a Nazi, and he's Jewish. He was found it very offensive to be called a Nazi as a Jewish man or a Jew. And some other things in your calls, of course, if you would like to call in. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the AJ Gallardo original theme song of the Hake Report. Christmas Eve 2017. Very nice. And shout out to Trevor Wesley for the one that we play Monday through Thursday, the shorter version.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. Hake, your flag is showing. I know. It's the rebel flag. It's the beautiful South. It's because I'm wearing a shirt with just a pocket that I'm glad I'm staying at least arm's length from Artie Art, because he'll pull out my pocket. He and his high school buddies horsing around too much, pulling off people's pockets, chest pockets, on my left chest. Yeah, I got this from Target. $15. It's nice. Nice, huh? 100% cotton, by the way. Right on. So, well, thank you guys. I will be getting to your super chats. I appreciate it, guys. Let me kick right off with a call here. JC from Little Rock, Arkansas, is on the line. How you doing, JC?
What's up, Wicked One? Can you hear me?
I can. Unfortunately.
How you doing?
Hello, Satan.
My sentiments are similar to yours, sir.
Oh, nice.
So I wanted to, first of all, ask John from Kentucky. I had a call with you the last time, and he, for some reason, wanted to come and attack me. I was like, John from Kentucky, I've never disagreed with you. I don't like that he threatens y'all sometimes, but I like other things that he said. He's called you out on numerous things. I was like, John, I respect you. Don't call me from Little Rock. Like, he's one of the ones I respect. Him and Mays and at times Frederick and Tony, because those are cool people. Just wanted to put that out there.
He's your fellow black Hebrew Israelite. Did you know that you are a black Hebrew Israelite?
I'm a Black Baptist Christian.
Nice. So you're more.
So that's why I have.
You're in reality then. Are you more in reality?
No,
are you saying than John from Kentucky?
I respect his different religion, but I can have my religion. He can have his. Thank God for free will.
He thinks that it's not his religion; it's his identity. It's what he is.
Oh yeah, y'all really don't like identities because you don't like realizing you're a white racist and you call yourself a Christian. That is so weird.
Those have nothing to do with my identity. Hello? He went silent. You must have pressed mute. Come off of mute. Are you there? Yeah, there you are. You went silent there for a second.
What happened?
You started talking about identity, and I said, that's not my identity. Those have nothing to do with my identity. And then you didn't respond because I shut you up.
Oh, please. You don't shut nobody up, but
sorry, kids.
BM from BM. That's the only person you shut up.
Who?
BN, the one that was getting on your nerves the other day, that was on
Ben.
way too long.
BN.
Yeah, shut up. We were partying last night. We were celebrating.
Right on.
That's why I was calling in to give my thoughts on Trump's indictment.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man, that was a wonderful time last night. We partied hard last night in celebration.
I hope you partied in a Christian way. Well, actually, I don't really care.
Oh, yeah, we definitely did. We were praising God, singing "Oh Happy Day" and everything.
Don't blame God for the unjust persecution of the one Christian president that we've had in our lifetimes. How old are you, by the way?
Jay, you cracked me up. Literally, the celebration. I got up, I sung Party in the USA. I sung I'm Proud to Be an American. It was a beautiful night.
Wow, that's funny. So you're celebrating the persecution of Christian President Trump.
James. Shit.
Whoa, did he cuss? Did you cuss?
Oh, sorry. It sounded like we got disconnected. I thought we had got disconnected.
No. We did not get disconnected.
Okay.
I think he cussed on air thinking he was
I just thought we got disconnected.
Okay. Sorry, kids.
I don't curse. I don't like cursing on this platform.
Nice.
I am sorry about that.
I understand. I accept. On behalf of the children and their mothers.
Which gets me because you're showing your rebel flag and everything.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's a Christian flag. It's a Christian flag.
Oh.
You don't love the beautiful South?
I love the beautiful South. I don't like the rebel flag.
Oh, you're just brainwashed. That's okay. We understand.
Now, James Hake, you know you cannot talk about one being brainwashed when you're part of Bond.
Huh?
You are a proud member of Bond, talking about somebody being brainwashed. I was listening to Jesse today on some of the things he was saying. Got y'all so hypnotized, I'm willing to call a doctor for you.
That's funny, man. You're going to 5850 me or whatever that thing is? I don't even know if you know what that means.
Can I give you a compliment?
I'm not sure. 5150. Yeah, go ahead, I guess.
So y'all was just talking about RuPaul a few minutes ago, right? And you did that. Can you do, what is it, the drag queen impression? Can you do that?
Oh, yeah, because on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, somebody gave a super chat on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. He's suspended on YouTube, but find him on Rumble or other platforms. And somebody said, what kind of car does RuPaul drive? A Trans Am. You get it? Trans? And we're like, actually, he is not a transgender degenerate. He is a drag queen degenerate. And I said, a drag queen.
Oh, man. It sounds just like I'm meeting RuPaul himself.
Nice.
Wow, did you do that amazingly. It's like you watch RuPaul's Drag Race every Friday night.
What, does he say that every Friday night? I only saw it that one time when he made Jimmy Fallon nervous or whoever that was.
Because that's like one of Rue's catchphrases and everything, but you sound remarkably just like RuPaul, Charles.
Well, thank you, man, but I'm a normal white Christian man.
You're a white man. I'll give you that. You are a white man.
Nice. Well, thank you, JC.
Thank you,
yeah.
James. Have a wonderful one. I'm still praying for all of y'all.
Okay, right on.
Those y'all need.
Oh, do you want to talk to Tony from Michigan?
Tony from Michigan.
Yeah, I have a caller asking a question that I cannot answer. It has to do with you.
What's the question? I don't want to talk to anybody because I was about to go back to sleep and we'll watch an episode of Joel Friday and go to sleep.
Well, a first-time caller, Tony from Michigan, was asking, why is JC so happy about Trump?
Oh.
You sure you don't want to talk with him?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm a very proud Democrat, and Trump was one of the worst, horrible presidents in the world. He's getting just what he deserves, just like the way at Jesse Lee Peterson, how y'all get straight. Y'all are getting everything y'all deserve.
You talk like a child and a sassy, know-it-all, conceited little schoolgirl.
Oh, please. If I'm talking like a child
but no offense.
Everything else you decide,
I say that.
I've learned it from you.
Okay. Well, right on, man. Thanks for answering that. Proud Democrat.
I'm out.
Bye.
Were there any more questions?
No, that was just his question. I'll have to get to him right after you since you don't want to talk with him.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I've talked to you. I've did my just diligence. Now I can watch the show. Bye.
All right. Adios, America. Tony from Michigan. Unfortunately, I couldn't get I don't know if you wanted to talk to him, but you were asking a question that I couldn't necessarily answer.
Oh, can you hear me? You hear me clearly, James?
I do.
How you doing?
Hey, man, good to hear from you. This is long-time JLP caller Tony from Chelsea/Detroit.
The funny thing is, I hope JC is listening, right? From one black man to another. I hope he's listening because the answer he gave, which is a non-answer,
right,
is the answer you're going to get from 99% of black people. They don't even have a Joe Biden story, a Joe Biden helping black people's story that they can ring off the top of their head.
Right.
But they hate Donald Trump, a man I know 30 years ago who was on every rap song, 20 years ago, every rap song. But they hate him. They can't even give. Hey, if JC could call back, let him in. And man, what do you all celebrate? Because I just can't get it.
Yeah.
And he says hold on, James. He says he's praying, right?
Right.
Praying. Listen, this is coming from a black man. 95 to 98% of the black church is totally lost.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to be saved, if you want to know God's word, you got to first get out of there. You got to go.
Good point.
And I mean, you got to take off running. They don't teach you anything in there. Only thing that comes off of black people towards Donald Trump at this time is hatred. And it's only hatred because he belongs to a conservative, which most black people really, when they sit down and think about it, are conservative. That's the scariest part.
I know. They're purported values, but it's just like the normal Christians, you know, the whites and blacks who aren't into the Democrat mess. We have like a weakness ourselves. Like we profess Christianity and love and all that stuff, but we get angry and fall into judgment and worry and stuff like that. Stuff that Jesus said not to do. And so they're just like a more extreme caricature of us. And everybody got their issues, you know?
Right. Well, I understand that, but since it's so fewer blacks, especially black ministers and pastors, they're like in a fishbowl.
Yeah.
So you actually get to witness when they bring the homosexuals into their pulpit.
Right.
You actually get to see when they bring mayors from Chicago who bring their wives to church, and the pastor stands up and says, well, the mayor is here with her family, and she's married to a woman. And hold on, most black people would think, oh, that's okay.
I know. They'll start to accept. It's funny what you start to accept that you never imagined that you or see people who seem conservative or seem Christian or seem normal thinking. They'll start to accept anything that enough of the world starts to accept it. Oh, I guess it's okay to accept this. It's crazy.
Right, and they're all casted over to love. But they never go to the scriptures where it tells you the 6 and 7 in Proverbs, the 6 and 7 things that God hates. Because God is all love. He has no hatred in him. But he got 6 or 7 things that you should look at that he hates. But they'll never go to that. They'll cast all this. They'll even make up lies. Like I saw my father. Me and my father saw 2 men kissing in 1960, and my father said it's simple. There's 2 men that love each other. That's a lie.
That's what Biden said, that his father told him when he was a little kid, seeing 2 well-dressed men kissing one another. Sorry, kids, it's disgusting. What a terrible lie. Yeah, it's a lie, and then you mentioned they'll make stuff up, or they will rationalize wrongdoing, intellectualism, just rationalizing evil. Yep.
Yeah, but James, I'm gonna tell you, I love your show, but any other black callers, especially the black church, even JC, let him call back in. Watch all the answers you get. You're going to get a bunch of non-answers.
I know.
Can't answer anything.
I'm a proud Democrat, and he was the worst president in the world.
You better ask somebody.
Yeah.
Hey, have a good one, brother.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Take care. Tony from Michigan. What a mess. Before I get back to calls, let me play for you some more mess. And I will get to Super Chats as well. KJP. So lame. This is from The Hill. These liberals. Karine Jean-Pierre. She's the black female lesbian, first LGBT press secretary that Sleepy Joe appointed her. She's a holdover from the Obama administration, by the way, I think. And she said, Republicans, I call them cants. She calls them Republicans. Oh, answers to the American people. Like you know anything about the American people. Wasn't she born in some, like, French-speaking black island country or something like that? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. About why, and by the way, her values are very un-American, about why they won't protect our kids. And look at her. That's a nice outfit. She's mildly attractive. Looks a little bit like a clown. With that wild hair. Ronald McDonald hair. Not that extreme. And that lipstick that doesn't look that natural on that face. And then I'll appreciate her somewhat modest attire. Turtleneck or sweater or whatever. Turtleneck sweater. Tan. Who's that chatter who doesn't appreciate all my attention to what women wear and myself? But anyway, this woman, But I find her mildly attractive. You know, she's cute. But except when you hear her talk, she talks like a dumb, evil person. Sorry, kids. Don't say dumb. But you can say evil, I think. Well, listen to this mess.
And Republicans owe answers to the American people about why they won't protect our kids. They owe answers to the Nashville families who lost their 3 kids, the 9-year-olds. They owe answers to Uvalde, the parents of Uvalde, 19 kids. They owe answers to the people in Buffalo who, like every other American on a Saturday, went to the grocery store. They owe answers to them and their families, that community.
Fake politician point.
Again,
politician
this is completely unacceptable, and we need to do everything that we can to protect our communities and to protect our kids.
Shut up, you're lying. You don't care about the kids or the community or the parents or anybody else or the blacks or the whites. She's cute, says Gregatron. Yeah, I agree, man. Except when she talks kind of fake, and she has this politician point. You'll notice politicians point like this. They'll put their fingers together and do this fake point. My hand is kind of washed out when I put it over because I'm so white. When I put it in the sunshine or the spotlight. But, Kevin, I can't read that out loud. He says, that's a dime piece right there. Oops, I read it out loud. I guess it's okay to say. Don't say that, kids. I like a woman without opinions who can't talk. Perfect, says Aaron. Yeah, she's phony. Because the government's not the answer. The government's the part of the problem. Part of the problem. As based Thomas Massey of Kentucky, Republican, not Republicant, I think, a family man, pointed out, and he's going to introduce the bill next week to repeal the Gun-Free Schools Act. Gun-free schools, gun-free zones, fish in a barrel. Oops, I accidentally said it right. Ducks in a barrel, sitting ducks in a barrel. Where you just blah, 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 blah. Easy killings. And I disavow such violence. Carver 531, Mrs. Karine Jean-Pierre Hake, Jean-Pierre Hake. No, she's too old, and she's black, and she's liberal. She worries her pretty little head about politics, at least she pretends to, which is not a good thing. That's a count against her. Strike one. And then she's quote-unquote married or partnered with a fellow supposed lesbian. I don't believe that she's a lesbian, really, because she's not fat. I'm just kidding. Not all lesbians are fat, but you're not even really a lesbian. You're a mess. Hake's wearing the same shirt, but her shoulders were bigger, says Aaron. Nugget Man says, ribs should be silenced. Yes, silenced. Be quiet. Karine Jean-Pierre. KJP. Gun-free zones, get rid of them. Bring back, as Thomas Massey pointed out, to loud-talking woman of a male, black politician, Jamal Bowman, male Democrat, how embarrassing. You heard it on the Jesse Lee Peterson show in the third hour today. You heard it on the Hake report yesterday. You aren't looking at the data. And then, that's what the black guy said. And then the white man, sensible white man, said, at no school where they're allowed to carry, the staff are allowed to carry, have any shootings happened. Not even an accidental discharge. You know, where the gun goes off, blam, oops. Taser, 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 said the female cop. Taser, 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 blam, oops, oh. And she cried and she went to jail because she's white. And the blacks made a lynch mob. Anyway, you don't care about protecting the kids, or you would allow the Second Amendment to be run wild, unfettered, uninfringed. KJP. And the rhinos, most of them aren't tough enough to point that out, I guess. Phony. You know who else is phony? David Pakman. Or Pakman, whatever his name is. I have a screenshot. If traditional American views, quote unquote, is witnessing non-stop mass shootings and doing absolutely nothing about it, then yeah, count me out, says David Pakman. And he's quote tweeting, and he's pretending that Republicans want to do nothing, or the good people, the Christians, want to do nothing about mass shootings, when we're bringing back God, men, fathers, Christianity, love, getting rid of anger. Most of us, or at least some of us want to, or some people want to, the real ones. When those would solve the things, whereas he brings the religion of anger, LGBTIQ confusion, out of control sex mess, which brought out of control crime mess. It's a fact, Jack, look it up. Joel Friday's right. After the sexual revolution came the murders like crazy. The black community went way out of control. And the other communities too. He quote tweeted Don Jr. saying, imagine being this big of a POS, P-O-S, pile of silliness. I made that up. It's not that funny. But anyway, it means something else. Kids don't say it. But anyway, I guess I should have blanked it. But anyway, unfortunately, says Don Jr., Donald J. Trump Jr., this is what many on the left think of you if you have traditional American values and don't follow blindly and capitulate to their every lunatic whim. Truly evil at this point. And he shares a screenshot of a deleted tweet by David Pakman that you may have heard of. David Pakman said, very surprising that there would be a mass shooting at a Christian school, given that their lack of prayer is often blamed for these horrible events. Is it possible they weren't praying enough? This is me trying to imitate David Pakman talking. Is it possible they weren't praying enough or correctly, despite being a Christian school? That's what he tweeted on the 27th of March, 2023 AD, 3:42 p.m. Pacific time. And he was mocking the Christians because we say they took God out of the schools and mass murders started happening. Multiple causation, right? It's not just the sexual revolution stuff. It's not just, well, at root, it's the religion of anger and emotions, like JLP said. Justifying the emotions. All this focus on psychology and psychiatry, and the kids are more psycho than ever, and the women are more psycho than ever. All this reliance on drugs rather than true religion, which God our Father accepts, you know, to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. That's what true religion is, according to the Bible. It's in the Bible. It's a fact, Jack. Don Jr.'s based, says Richard Wintercorn. I agree. Or whatever. And so, yeah, David Pakman, former two-time guest or three-time guest on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, as well as the Fallen State. He hates Jesse. It's like a love-hate, though. You nailed the impersonation, says Games for Rec. Thank you, man. He talks kind of... Anyway. Whatever. He deleted that tweet because it was too nasty towards the Christians. He's not a Christian, by the way. He's Cuban and Jewish. Or Argentinian. Argentinian? Whatever he is. I don't know. He looks white, but don't be fooled. Not white on the inside, that's for sure. But most of us aren't. We have to be washed white as snow from within. So we can't be sitting around judging David Pakman. Pile of silliness? Well done, Hake. Well done. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. That's what POS stands for. Pile of silliness. He's very condescending, says Chris. Yeah. JLP made him look stupid on his own show, says Bill Pasqualone. Well, JLP's, I don't think, ever been on his show. But yeah, JLP asks him direct questions and he doesn't answer them. He says, Are you a fiscal conservative? Because JLP asked him, is supporting the transgender sex change surgery in the military, is that progressive? Because he calls himself a progressive. And David Pakman didn't answer the question, and he said, are you a fiscal conservative, Jesse? A fiscal conservative? I've never heard Jesse. I don't even think JLP knows what fiscal means. Well, maybe he does. Let's give him credit. I'm on his network. It means money. Money conservative. I guess David Pakman's argument was going to be that it saves money to transgender the people who think that they're transgender with the surgery stuff and all that mess in the military and in the prisons and mess. Terrible. A lot of the transgenders are violent, at least the ones who are Antifa, and the lesbians who are not transgenders. They fight one another. They are the ones who commit the most DV, domestic violence. JLP made an appearance on David Pakman's show? I don't think he did. I don't think so. Could be wrong. Before I get to calls, let me get to a super chat over here or two over here, guys. Yesterday, this one came in about the flat earth stuff. And Chris gave a super chat on streamlabs.com/the Hake Report. And I think it's about the flat earth stuff. Because I point out that why is the horizon so crisp and flat, horizontal, if the earth is flat? If the earth were flat and it were a disc, such as a CD, a compact disc, kids, that's what the CD is. Somebody pointed out, Ashley over there in the Facebook crew said, kids are going to ask, what's a CD? Then you would see the horizon, unless you're in the extreme center of that CD, the horizon's not going to look even. It's going to look closer over here, further over there, because you're not in the middle. Or am I wrong? And then how come you can't see Mount Everest? Or Hawaii? Yeah, Hawaii. Or what else? China. Or the ice walls. Because they say that there are ice walls surrounding the world. And that's what Antarctica is. It's a circle of ice around the whole world, rather than a continent down south at the South Pole of the ball Earth, which is what it really is. So I'm all, how come the horizon is so crisp? Well, Chris gave a super chat and said, Hake, you went to art school. You should know about vanishing points. Come on, man. Come on, man. To quote that dead guy who is a black liberal. Well, Chris, I did not go to art school. I went to Azusa Pacific University, which is a Christian school, a liberal school. They've gotten worse. And I just majored in art. And that's not where I learned vanishing points. I learned about vanishing points when I was homeschooled in 3rd grade with my mom. And I learned about vanishing points there. And I don't think vanishing points are necessarily real. But that's vanishing points is when you have two railroad ties, for example, and you're up close. They look good and far away. But then the further away, they look like they're coming together to where you can't even tell them apart at the very horizon, if you can see the horizon. And that means that Mount Everest would be at a tiny, tiny point if we do see it. It's just a tiny point. It vanishes where it vanishes. That doesn't make sense, man. I don't think that makes sense. I think that I get what you're saying, but also, why would the horizon be horizontal if the Earth is flat? It would not be horizontal because only on a ball, at any point on the surface of the ball, you're in the center of that ball. Anywhere you look on a big ball, big enough ball, it's going to look relatively flat. It's going to look flat for all your purposes because that point over there on the horizon is the same distance as that point on that part of the horizon. Why would it be lower? So it's the same distance away. And so is that point over there. It's the same distance away. and that point over there. Whereas if you're not in the middle of the disk, on the flat disk, you're going to be much closer to this part of the horizon, perhaps, than this part, maybe. So think about it. Think about it. Anyway, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Nice argument, though. I appreciate that. Vanishing points. But it's clearly a ball, obviously, quite obviously. But we love and appreciate, if we love anyone, the flat earthers. Shout out to the flat earthers. They make up a significant percentage, I would say. A majority or else a vocal minority of my audience. Shout out to my audience. John WX25 says, John from Kentucky, also known as Kentucky John, is based today for the simple fact that he offended Twinkle Toes JC. Oh, he did? I didn't catch that he offended him. That's funny. I thought he was saying that he appreciates that. Inward thoughts, like thoughts in his inward being, gave a couple of super chats on Streamlabs and says, how come the sun and moon are exempt from vanishing point syndrome as they approach the horizon? Ooh. Oh, in fact, they get bigger. Sometimes looking. Because of the magnifying glass effect of all that horizon, all of that, what's that thing called? Firmament, also known as air. No, I don't know. Thank you, Inward Thoughts. I don't know if I want Inward Thoughts on my team, but I want all of us on. We're all on the same team. We just disagree about this thing because a lot of you guys believe stuff without evidence, which we all are subject to. We all believe nutty things. Inward Thoughts also says, how come the sun and moon are exempt from vanishing point syndrome as they approach the horizon? He gave 2, so I have to read it twice. Thank you, man. Thanks for the double super chat. Let me know if you want I'm not sure how, if I can. I probably can. I can probably issue you a reimbursement since you gave it twice. But I did read it twice, so you don't get your money back. No, whatever. Over on Rumble, Evil is Still Real, perhaps related to Inward Thoughts, says, good morning, all wrinkly-brained people. Also, good morning, the chat-tards and the flat earthers. He's calling you guys smooth-brained, which I gather is not a good thing. I'm like, thank you. Very smooth. People call me a smooth brain. After they see my debates on Modern Day Debate and elsewhere, I'm like, it's very smooth. And they're like, you're dumb. Don't say that, kids. Smooth is not a good thing. You're supposed to have wrinkled. The more wrinkled it is, the more intelligent you are. If it's smooth, then you're not smart at all. You're a simpleton. Kevin in New York is on the line. Kevin, thank you for calling and holding. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing really good, Hake. It's great to talk to you again. It's been a while.
Nice. Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, but before I even go into what I talk about, can I comment on the whole flat Earth thing?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Now, well, say that the flat earthers get proven to be true, which they won't, but say that they do. My whole thing is that it doesn't change anything that we actually know that is happening here on Earth.
Right.
So why does it matter? Say that they get proven right sometime in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, is it going to be? Are they going to point fingers and be like, I told you so? You know, then it becomes an ego issue.
It's all ego. It totally is all ego.
Yeah.
It's false knowledge. They think that their reasoning, I don't know if you've heard this, is that it's a satanic lie that we're a spinning ball and a little speck not in the center of the universe, and that proves that there is no God if it's a spinning ball. Somehow that proves that there is no God in their twisted thinking. And only if the Earth is flat are we the center of the universe and special, and it's And so that's their reasoning. They think that it
Wow,
has to
that's
do.
incredible.
A lot of them, the Christian ones, justify it that way. Yeah, crazy, huh?
Wow,
but you're right. It
that's
is all
really
ego.
interesting.
It's let go, as JLP says, let go of all ideas about God and the universe and yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's incredible. I really haven't heard that before. That's really crazy. But
Yeah.
I mean, flat earthers, explain to me, and then I'll and you
No
know,
problem.
I won't talk about that anymore. But
Yeah.
anyway, explain to me. So it's daytime where I am right now. If the Earth is flat, then how come it's nighttime in places like Japan and Russia right now?
I think
You know what I mean?
I think they think the sun
and
is a
its light
flashlight.
doesn't-
The sun is a flashlight, I think is what they're saying. And it travels in like a
That's
figure eight or
pure.
something.
That's craziness.
Yeah.
Any light that you have in your house will tell you that it's only shining on places where it's obstructing the light.
Right.
And so there's places here on Earth that are completely dark right now.
Yeah.
The sun doesn't shine as a spotlight. My goodness.
Yeah.
But, man, oh man.
It's interesting, and
So,
you're
yeah.
and you're so right. It has nothing to do with reality and the spirit, and you'll notice that a lot of them, and the ball-tards too, get puffed up on judging one another, and sometimes not wanting to talk to one another, or writing one another off, or accusing each other of this or that. It's all just something to argue about and distract and make each other look silly and stupid, which we are silly and stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's terrible.
well said, Hake.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. But I actually called in, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
to talk about what I think about the end days. And I know there's a lot of confusion surrounding that. I'm also the guy who's called you before and has told you my hypothesis that the Bible is incomplete without the Apocrypha. But
Oh, okay.
we get further insight on things people have been confused about the end of days when we read the Apocrypha, texts such as, what is it called? The Testament of Elijah, the martyrdom and ascension of Isaiah the prophet, like texts like that. Like, for example, like...
Those are from the Apocrypha, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
They may be. I may be grouping them together unofficially.
Okay.
But anyway, those texts will give further insight. Like, for example, the Testament of Elijah talks about the Antichrist, and that the whole world will be deceived by the Antichrist because someone is going to show up and do everything that Jesus did and more. And it goes on to say that that the only way that we'll actually be able to tell that it's the Antichrist and not actually Jesus is that even though he'll perform all these miracles, he won't be able to revive the dead or to give life. And so that I think that's important to know when it comes to the timeline of what the end of days is supposed to be like.
Say that one more time.
About the Antichrist.
Yeah.
That he'll be able to do all the things that Jesus did, except one thing, which is to revive the dead.
Okay.
Or to give life.
Yeah.
That's the only sign that we'll be able to tell.
Well, it seems like the people who can see through a lie, and he will be a liar and like a wolf in sheep's clothing. And
yes.
And so I don't know if it's just one person or if it's a spirit of the Antichrist, which is what most all of us have. Like we worry, we get angry, we don't forgive. All the things that Jesus said to do, we don't do. We don't watch and pray, that we don't fall into temptation like Jesse Lee Peterson and Jesus both said to do. And
Yes.
so I think that's this. Suspect that that's more the spirit of the Antichrist, that rather than it just being one man. Because people were thinking, oh, it's Obama, or oh, it's going to be a Jew, or oh, whatever. I think that there's like a whole, I don't know, but that's my suspicion. In reality, that's what's happening anyway.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I gotta keep catching myself. I keep falling into exactly that myself. You're right that we all do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because to us, like I don't mean to be. Hopefully, I can say this half-assed about my faith and all this other stuff. But I also realize that knowing all this stuff is unnecessary.
Right.
Because basically,
it's just like knowing the Earth It's just like knowing the Earth is clearly a ball. It does nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing to be proud of. It's like you gotta live.
Yeah, that's right. And as Jesus said, it's a paraphrasing and not literal, but it's about the inside of the cup, not the outside of the cup. The cup being the body.
Yeah.
You know.
Nice, man.
So I mean, it's supposed to be simple like that.
Yeah.
You know.
True.
Yes, definitely.
Well, I appreciate your call. Great call, man.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Hake. It's a pleasure. Hopefully we can talk again soon.
That sounds good. Yeah, call anytime. Take care, Kevin.
All right. God bless.
All right.
Have a good one.
You as well. It's Friday, guys. Do you put your hope in Fridays? Hake is just trying to annoy us, says Catfly. I'm really not. I'm really trying to make a point, but say it how I see it. Do you put your hope in Fridays, though? You're thinking that he's a flat earther, I guess. And I say it's clearly a ball. Hake doesn't know what the word clearly is. Someone get this man a dictionary. Dictionaries are fake news. Don't fall for the dictionary, guys. Dictionary is fake news. Ever heard of bigot? They changed the word. They changed the meaning. Ever heard of vaccine? They changed the meaning. Ever heard of whatever? Racism? They changed the meaning because dictionaries are fake news. It's a fact. Think about it. Don't look it up because you won't find it by looking it up. Consider it. Ponder it. I just noticed that people put their hopes in Fridays and the weekends. There's even a song. It's the weekend. Heck yeah, we just got paid. We're going to get the party started. Such a good song, as in catchy and nice. I like it. But I disavow the HE double toothpicks. On behalf of the kids and the mothers. Shout out to the mothers. But I notice that I get a little loosey-goosey on the weekends, and then I get sick on the Monday, Tuesday, and then by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm getting back to health and being normal because I recover during the week. You're supposed to recover on the weekend. You're supposed to have your day of rest, your Sabbath, your Sabbado, or Sunday if you prefer, whatever. I'm not one of those Seventh-day Adventist guys. Seventh-day Adventists don't make sense to me. If you're supposed to rest on the Sabbath, how are you supposed to go to church? You go to church on Sunday, you rest on the Saturday and go to church on Sunday. Duh. Or whatever. But anyway. Yeah, you should be even keel throughout the week, in good times and bad, with a girlfriend or without a girlfriend, with a husband or without a husband. With everybody hating you or everybody loving you, or whatever. Don't put your hope in the weekends. You know, before I get to, I'm coming to HAMZA next, and I'm going to get to, I might get to this transgender propaganda. I'll try to plow through it fast. How about that? Because it's not a very pleasant topic. JLP had a great monologue for the transgenders, and then, which they're not, it's not what they are or who they are. But a shout out to the transgenders. But, and for everybody really at the beginning of the show today on his show. But now it's time for some music. It's Women's History Month. Last day. Thank God. So corny. Hey, this track is entitled Pray by Mary Rice Hopkins. She's in my women's history because she was music mama at Christian Family Camp Forest Home. This is a track from her. Last day of Mary Rice Hopkins. You can be somber and sad. This is the last Mary Rice Hopkins song for the day, anyway. Pray. Okay? You musical Philistines, you can grin and bear it, because it's not bad. Or you can cover your ears or press mute. But I'll be right back for hour 2. Hang tight.
Yes, he prayed. Oh, what a tale in the belly of the whale. What did he do? Did Jonah pray? Yes, he prayed. Yes, he prayed. Yes, he prayed. Oh, when you need a friend, you gotta pray, pray, pray. Are you troubled again? Pray, pray, pray. Draw near to God and He'll draw near to you. Talk to Him every day. Pray, pray, pray. When Abraham asked for a son, oh, what did he do? Did he pray? Yes, he prayed. Yes, he prayed. Yes, he prayed. Then Sarah knew as her tummy grew, she was knit in baby shoes. She laughed and prayed. She laughed and prayed. She laughed and prayed. Laughed and prayed. Oh, when you need a friend, you gotta pray, pray, pray. Are you troubled again? Pray, pray, pray. Draw near to God and He'll draw near to you. Talk to Him every day. Pray, pray, pray.
Holy, wholesome hate.
Jesus healed the blind. He turned the water into wine. Did he pray? Yes, he prayed. Yes, he prayed. Yes, he prayed.
Hits hard on mute.
And when I laugh or cry, He's always by my side. Should I pray? Yes, I'll pray.
So good.
Yes, I'll pray. Yes, I'll
Papa.
When you need a friend, you gotta pray, pray, pray. Are you troubled again? Pray, pray, pray.
I like this song. It's wholesome.
Draw near to God and He'll draw near to you.
So good.
Talk to Him every day. Pray, pray, pray.
We're showing the squirrels on the video feed. Get that nut, squirrel. Hake, do you want a cigarette before you get the firing squad comes out? Asks Steve C. Whoa. As long as it's not another 6-year-old singing like on a horror movie, it's passable for Hake, says Rusty Smackleford. Hake Bob Volume 22, says Raymond. Well, anyway, guys, thank you for bearing with me through that beautiful music. Shout out to the beautiful music and Mary Rice Hopkins. Alexis D. snapping. So good. James Hake Flanders. I think that's a reference to that unchristian show, Simpsons, which I was not allowed to watch, except when I was traveling. Some super chats for you guys before I get back to the calls. Inward Thoughts says, I'm not petty enough to want a refund. Here's another $3. And with another, I am not petty enough to want a refund. Here's another $3. And with yet another super chat, I am not petty enough to want a refund. Here's another $3. Well, thank you, Inward Thoughts. Very generous, very kind. That's cool. Asmodor, by the way, yesterday stated about that mayor, that black mayor. No, not a black mayor, a Democrat mayor. It was in Chicongo, 1968. Shoot looters on sight. Mayor Daley. Chicago. Shoot looters. Shoot to kill for arson. Oh, shoot to kill for arsonists. Nice. Shoot to kill for arsonists. Shoot to maim looters. Okay. Nice. That's fair. I mean, it seems just, right? I'm for just violence, not unjustified violence. I disavow all unjustified violence. But, you can't be putting up with this stuff. You put up with it, it grows, goes more and more out of control. Look at it. That's what it's done. Richard J. Daley, his most infamous pronouncement, may have overshadowed and excused a vastly more ominous episode during the riots following MLK's assassination. Be quiet, Chicago reader. Anyway, thank you, Asmodor, our resident historian. He's the one who said that. I learned that on I think I heard it on his show, TKR, the Crypto Report, on which I will be going. I will be returning on his show. Stay tuned, I will give the announcement. Over on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report, Chris says, about the flat earth, caller is right, it doesn't matter. But it is a lot of fun to talk about. Yeah, it is fun. And it's good to watch yourself, how you react to situations. Jordanos gave a super chat on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. Samson Hake, because I call her Delilah. She asks personal questions about my weakness. Oh, what type of girls do you like? The Democratic Party, I call it Democrat Party. I learned that from Trump. Don't make threats, they make promises. Nickstream Speedy. Did you check your email about the African pastor ascending? LOL, play it now, it's short, says Jordanos. Trying to boss us around. I'll get you, Jordanos. She's the stewardess on Nickstream sometimes. Right? Inward Thought says, another great song. By the way, Paul is from the tribe of Ravenous Wolf. Benjamin also claimed to do miracles and invented the entire concept of grace, which has deceived and misled almost every Christian, placing them on the wide, broad path, not on the narrow path. Millions of Christians, says Inward Thoughts. Well, people can take stuff that JLP says, that Jesus said, and all kinds of stuff, and use it, as well as what Paul said, to justify going on, continuing to sin. But thank you, Inward Thoughts. Appreciate that, man. Let me double check over on buymeacoffee.com and ko-fi.com just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. And on Rumble and on DLive and on Odyssey, we're fine. Nice. Maine Franken said over there on Odyssey, we had better music in Catholic summer camp. I bet you did, you Catholics. I like the Catholics, and they're all liturgical, traditional sounding stuff. That's nice. I appreciate that stuff, kind of. HAMZA is in Utica, which is in New York, I've learned recently. I might have known it before. HAMZA, thanks for holding, man. How are you doing?
Good, Hake. How are you?
HAMZA, I mean. Fine, thank you.
I came to talk about flat Earth.
Okay. Are you a flat earther or are you a ball-tard?
Right now,
bless you.
I believe in the universe. I believe that we live on a sphere, on a planet.
Okay, nice. Same here,
but
buddy.
I
Same
want
here.
to.
High five.
I want to track. High five. Yeah. Whatchamacallit? Do you remember when this first came out?
Yeah, I remember when the first time I saw a real life flat earther was on IG. It was one of my soccer buddies who's Hispanic, and he turned Christian, and he became like a flat earther. It was some years ago.
2015?
Probably around then, yeah. That sounds about right, actually.
Yeah, that's what I remember that too.
You knew him?
That's
or
a good
you
start.
just remember that's when it started to explode?
No, I remember. That's when it started breaking loose.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, around that period. Yeah, very interesting. Listen, I'm on your channel on YouTube.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you something. I'm looking at your channel, and you did a great interview with, I believe, Hassan. Is that the guy's name?
Oh, Hassan, my engineer. Yeah, Hassan. Yeah, my engineer. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was an African American man sitting between you guys.
Well,
and
he's
you guys
black.
were talking about flat Earth.
He's black. Yeah, and we also talked about the moon landing, I think. Yeah, that was Big Bump. I don't think he's African American. He's black. He's black.
Well, let me
and
tell
American,
you, man.
But yeah, go ahead.
Let me tell you, I really loved the entire conversation.
Really?
You guys did great. I watched the whole thing. It was your best video. You, whatchamacall, the black man did not feel at all nervous. You didn't give him a hard time at all. He felt comfortable around you. It was really, really good.
Nice. Appreciate the feedback on that.
Yeah, you didn't use any. You didn't talk about the LGBTQ community. You didn't talk about the black community. There were no Mexicans on the moon. Nothing. You did a whole video, man, without having to belittle another minority group.
I'll try to do better next time, man.
No, you did great, man. But check it. Your next video, the next video you got on your channel is blacks. What a mess.
I know. Yeah. True.
Hey,
that was fun too, though. And Big Bump called into that. Big Bump, same guy. He called into my show in that video.
Yeah, but still, Hake. I mean, Big Bump comes. He does the show. You guys do a great job. You don't do anything racist. And then next video is blacks. What a mess.
I'm just putting out clips, man. I'm just putting out clips that I've saved that I have had in my backlog that I need to get out. Well, I'm glad that you like. I'm glad you like one aspect of the content, even if the other kind of gets your goat. For I don't know what that means.
Well, no, it doesn't get my goat, man.
Okay.
I hope you understand that. This flat Earth thing was put there for smooth brains like you. Yeah, people with magical thinking.
Yeah,
we did it. We did it back in 2000. Back in Occupy Wall Street, we were talking about this. How do we keep these magical thinking people occupied? And a man talked about there was a special committee. Some kid talked about flat Earth was something going on in the 60s.
Yeah.
If we talk about flat Earth, they'll go crazy for it.
Yeah, that's what Asmodor believes as well. I don't know if you're familiar with Asmodor, but he believes that it's a psyop meant to keep them occupied and looking stupid.
Yes, he's right. He's right on point. It was spawned out of a committee out of Occupy Wall Street.
Really?
They're trying to figure out what to. They're trying to figure out what to do with smooth brains like you. guys like you. Yeah, no, guys like you kept getting in the way. Magical thinkers.
Yeah.
We can never get you off the racist subject.
By magical thinkers, you mean Christians?
No, magical thinkers. They're people. They're people who don't even talk Christianity. That talk crazy.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
How do we get them to stop talking? How do we get them to stop talking about race, religion, and guns and all these? How do we put them on another subject?
Same as the Q mess.
One of the kids.
Costin says same as the Q mess. Did Occupy come up with Q, or was that the feds?
No, that's. I'll talk to you about that.
Okay. Another day.
Off air. I know what that's all about.
Okay.
You got to talk about that. That's serious as hell.
Heck.
But
thank you.
Guys, heck, yeah. But just trying to let you know about the roots of it and where it came from and why it's being used. And it was difficult to have a conversation with religious people. They always kept wanting to debate whether Islam is a good religion or a bad religion or a violent religion.
Right.
And then finally we walked up. We said the Earth is flat, and we noticed they took to it.
Yeah.
They took to it, and once they took to it, we fed it for the last 10 years, man, just to keep them to stop talking about the Muslims because we were going. It was really annoying.
You're not a mastermind, HAMZA, says Nick.
No, the people. No, it was a group in Occupy that
But
did
you
it, man.
do you
It's not
identify
me.
with the occupiers? Why do you say we? Or you just agree with them?
No, I watched. I watched them. I know what they were up to.
Oh, okay. You may
What
be
you
right.
call? And
yeah, may be right. You may well be right.
yeah,
Satan
Hey,
definitely did that. Go ahead.
but listen, you did a whole video without having to be racist, and I'm
Yeah.
really, really proud of you, man.
Thank you, man.
And I don't know why you keep pandering to the race crowd, because they're not your base, bro. They're not your base. Your base is normal people.
Okay, nice. But the
Yeah,
race
man,
people
you
are
don't-
normal. They're pretty normal, to be honest.
Yeah, well, there's no need to pander to them. And I mean, blacks, what a mess. You could, man. There was.
But it is a mess.
There's
That's a fact. Normal people know that that they're a mess.
I wrote down what you said in your video.
Okay. That I love the ghetto blacks?
I wrote down verbatim.
Nice.
What you said.
Wow.
Yeah.
You committed.
You said the whites are fighting against the whites of the past, which allow the blacks to punch us in the face now.
I said that? Are you sure?
Yeah, you said that You said that. I'll give you the time code. It was in your last video.
Okay.
One guy called in. It was absolutely.
Nice, man. He's very amused.
Oh man, you're a trip.
Cool, man. Well, send that over to me.
All right, Hake.
All right.
Good luck to you, man.
Thank you. Same
Bye.
to you, HAMZA. Bye. Okay. This caller is a beta, says Uncle Tom's Cabin. And he says Utica or Utica. Utica, oof. What's that mean? Is Utica a mess as well? Utica, what a mess. Thank you, Uncle Tom's Cabin. Nice to see you, man. Uncle Tom? Uncle something's. Uncle Ted's Cabin. Sorry, Ted Kaczynski. I disavow, I guess. Maybe. Okay, let me plow through this thing real fast, and then I'll get back to calls, okay? Commie capitalist Mozilla-Firefox-Pocket pushing the trans agenda. It was co-founded by a Christian, Mozilla was. And then they kicked him out. And so now they support the gay agenda, which is also now the transgender agenda. A bunch of fake stuff. This is some headlines from Pocket editors and different scenes, right? Different screenshots that they're pushing out, propaganda. Pocket doesn't seem like that big or well-known of an outlet, but Firefox is a well-respected web browser. And even these commie capitalists are pushing this agenda on you and me, or me anyway. They're pushing it on me, but I don't accept it. I guess I accept it as content from my show. And if I overreact to it and fight against it and get mad at it, I guess you can call that acceptance. But here, where to donate to support the U.S. trans community? Discover 15 nonprofit organizations built to support the trans community, which is not a community, through public policy and education, financial education, meaning indoctrination, financial help, and healthcare resources. I have these screenshots in the folder, trans something or other. Trans Agenda, Pocket, Firefox, Mozilla. In honor of March 31st, international, meaning globo homo, Trans Day of Visibility, meaning they want them to be visible. You don't want them to be visible? You don't want to let it all hang out, Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. person who thinks you're transgender? You don't want that? You don't want to be visible? Just as you wouldn't want to be caught with your pants down. Most of you. If you're wise. It's a shame. It's a shame. You don't want visibility? Stupid. It's kind of like pride. The gay pride stuff. There's nothing to be proud of. Anyway, and the other 364 days of the year, we've rounded up organizations fighting to improve the lives of transgender people in America. Wolves in sheep's clothing, that's what they are. They're not fighting to improve your lives. Don't be suckers. I don't know if there's any transgenders in my audience. I have talked with them before. I've met them and talked with them on Modern Day Debate and elsewhere. While many organizations you've heard of, from the evil, un-American ACLU and the Human Rights Campaign, communist buzzword, human rights, fake idea, GLAAD, gays and lesbians against defamation or something like that. Gay Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, that's what GLAAD stands for. With anything that they say defamation in their thing, they're for defaming Christians and falsely propping up themselves as good when they're evil. Do a tremendous amount of work for the trans, non-binary, and intersex false communities as part of their larger missions. This list focuses on organizations centered on those communities specifically, ready to back their work through donations and advocacy? And I say, no! Learn more how you can help. A reminder for cisgender folks. Cisgender means normal, right? They had to come up with an abnormal word, make you sound like a freak. I'm cisgender. Means I'm normal. Anyway, make the normal people sound like freaks. Like, anyway. I disavow calling people freaks. Only because I'm supposed to for the sake of my channel. I lovingly call people freaks. But it's not good to be a freak. Take a moment to review these organizations, blah, blah, blah. What's at stake for trans rights in 2023 because the Republicans are going after them. Because the Republicans can't fight on basic normal reality anymore. They've given up the fight on the gay agenda. They've given up the fight on Christianity, prayer in school. They've given up on the fight on pushing the Second Amendment into the schools, except for Thomas Massey. They've given up the fight on kicking the illegals out of the country. They've given up the fight on crime committed by blacks. Republicans around the country. You heard it from Hake, who heard it from that Pedro Gonzalez guy, who seems like an anti-Trump activist journalist. But irregardless, he puts out pretty good information. He's been on the Jesse Lee Peterson show and Tucker Carlson. He pointed out that Republican-led states, in all the states, many of the states, have given up on the black crime stuff. They just kiss up to the fake idea that, oh, the criminal justice system is systemically racist. And so Trump went right along with them too. And now the base Republicans, the only thing they have to fight left is the transgenders and the pedos, and they're going to PDF files, right? And they're going to accept those two in no time. Mark my words. No, I don't predict the future, but they're weak. It's pathetic. I'm not impressed with you, based Republicans. I'm not impressed. And so, what a mess. Terrible. I guess we can move on from that. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah, I mean, Pocket was pushing it hard. They have other Pocket headlines. Celebrate trans joy. Oh, yeah, you don't have joy, okay? With Jazz Jennings, who's that guy who turned fat. He used to be a cute little boy, but playing a girl. And Skylar J, who's something else. Trans Day of Visibility. They're pushing it hard. What's at stake for U.S. trans rights in 2023 is another whole headline on the same whole page. I don't know if you guys open up blank Firefox pages, but I use Firefox for one of my things. Don't use Firefox, kids. Use Brave Browser. Brave Browser was started by Brendan Eich, who was kicked out of Mozilla-Firefox for being a Christian. Because the radical homosexual agenda mainstream media and the radical homosexual suckers who work in so-called tech industry are a bunch of SJWs who hate Christians. So use the Brave Browser. Don't be like Hake. Do what I say, not what I do. I guess I'll skip this hockey story. They're propping up the... no, I don't want to... Okay, let me quickly just show this real fast. Go into the folder that's inside the folder. We just made history. SB Nation. This is another Pocket headline. SB Nation, which is, I don't know what that is. It's like a sports outlet, I guess. I don't follow sports. The story of hockey's first ever Team Trans. How a group of 17 trans athletes came together to make history. And it's only history because a transgender so-called journalist wrote about it. And so something that's written down becomes so-called history. That's the only reason that it's history. Or because the people who kiss up to the transgenders call it history. It's like CNN says, oh, the first black woman just made history because they wrote it down. And all the other kiss-ups wrote it down. And that's terrible. Oh, I should have. You can show this very briefly. I neglected to censor their faces. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Show the one where it's this colorful graphic with the two hockey players. Oh! I'm overreacting. Oh! Nick is torturing us. Nickstream is trying to scalp Hake's viewers, make them leave the Hake report and only watch Nickstream. Normally, I like to censor their faces, not out of malice, but not out of malice. Or I repent if it's out of malice. To be funny, for one, and also because it's kind of vulgar when they're dressed up like a woman and then it's a man's face. And then it's not passing. Even if it is passing, that's even more traumatizing. So I cover it up. But anyway, those are supposedly transgender athletes. So anyway, move on. And this was written by a person who calls himself Caitlin Burns, K-A-T-E-L-Y-N. And this person is a transgender writer, freelance journalist, columnist, MSNBC, of course, Extra magazine, former Vox.com, feminist, male feminist, lives in New England. Go to the Twitter profile. Oh, there it is. Okay, so, I forgot to cover the face again. Go next picture. Okay, this is a little bit better because it's a drawing at least. So that's a dude. Okay, I don't know if I don't want to harp on this because, for the sake of my channel. But he's protecting his tweets. New England. I told you New England is degenerate. This person is from New England. So this Caitlin Burns guy, don't know his dead name, so I cannot dead name him. And I only dead name out of respect, by the way. Respect for myself and you and the person. Nick says, this guy is bitter, not better. Yeah. Bitter, but caffeinated. How are you this morning? Bitter, but caffeinated. You're supposed to be better, not bitter. Listen to the Jesse Lee Peterson show, first hour of the Jesse Lee Peterson show, Friday, March 31st, hour 1. Listen to that if you need it. Or listen to The Truth Within, be quiet. And get smart. So this person is propped up. And he wrote an article in Vox.com. The massive Republican push to ban trans athletes explained about 30 states have introduced bill to prevent trans kids and trans women supposedly, from playing sports. No, you can play sports, I guess. You can just have to do it on the man's team. It's the GOP's latest attempt to force trans people into hiding. And the trans people are trying to force the Christians into hiding. And they also say stuff like, well, actually, their bodies change. You heard it on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Their bodies change, so you're just ignorant. They're no better than the girls' sports, the girls' athletes. Anyway, that's the story for the trans thing. What a mess. I'm shaking my head. Let me get to Ty in New Jersey on the line. Wants to talk about something real going on. Ty, how are you doing? I guess it's real. What's up, man?
What's up, Hake? I'm Ty and I'm black. I'm
nice. Right on.
What's going on, brother? I ain't talked to you.
What did you say? Did you say your username or something?
No, I said I'm Ty, but I'm not a mess.
Oh, not a mess. Nice. Right on.
I think the last time we spoke, it was the Capitol. They invaded the Capitol.
Oh, really?
But
so like 2 years ago you talked to me?
What happened?
You talked to me 2 years ago you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
welcome back.
They're trying to conspire against the great white hope, Donald Trump. They're trying to arrest him, bro. What do you think about that, bro?
I think that it's a phony witch hunt, political persecution. It's persecution of the president. It's almost a religious persecution, really, because their religion is politics, and they hate Christians, and Trump is a Christian. And he's also a man, and he's also white, and he also tells the truth. And they hate the truth, they hate whites, they hate men, and they hate Christians.
Why do you think they hate the whites and the Christians?
Oh, because the whites and the Christians are oftentimes closer to the truth. They're more conservative. They're stuff like that. They don't go along with their agenda. That's why, I think. They're in the way. Does that make sense? They're in the way?
Kinda. I see they're promoting the transgender in sports. And I've seen they had the transgender winning medals and setting records.
Yeah.
Like a transgender man going into a woman.
Right.
That's a mess.
It is.
That's a goddamn mess. How are they setting records
sorry,
when you're
kids.
not even a woman?
Keep it clean, man. I don't know if you were aware that that's a curse. You're saying, God, send this mess to hell when you say that. That's what I heard.
No, it's a figure of speech. No, I don't.
Right, it's a figure of speech.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I think
it is a mess.
With your last article with the transgender, they shouldn't be playing. They should have a separate league if they're going to play sports. They shouldn't be setting records in other. Divisions.
They should be not doing that. To be honest, they should
That's
not be
true, too.
that. Like, it's public indecency. I think it's legitimate to be censoring them. You know how I put black over the faces if you watch the video when I show these people who are supposedly transgender? Because it's vulgar. It's not appropriate. It's public indecency. And they should not be flaunting their delusions and their fantasies or whatever, or their confusion in the world. We should have dignity. Hide your stuff. That's what Bill Cosby did. He hid his stuff. And all of the old school men, that's what you're supposed to do, is hide your flaws.
That's a mess, Hake.
It is. Yeah. It's true.
Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend, buddy.
Thank
Stay
you, man.
white, all right?
I will. I appreciate your call, man. Got to turn white on the inside, though.
Not going to happen, but all right.
All right. Take care, Ty. Nice guy. Michael's a first-time caller in Utah over there. How you doing, Michael? Thanks for calling.
Hey, Hake.
Hey.
Oh. How's it going?
Going well.
Good. Now, I just wanted to call and tell you something interesting. But, first off, thank you for allowing me to call. Great show. I love your show.
Nice,
it's awesome.
Man. Cool.
But I wanted to tell you something interesting about my family and when they first came to America. Funny thing that happened. My parents came to America in 2000. They split. And if you can explain to me this, I would love to know. But my mom's a hardcore Trumper, and my dad's a downright Democrat, both black from Trinidad. I was wondering if maybe you can give me some insight on how that might work.
It happens sometimes. Sometimes, every now and then, the woman has a more logical political values than the man. It happens. It's true.
I'm telling you. It's crazy. I every time I go and talk to my mom about politics, he's like, that Trump guy, he knows what he's doing.
Nice.
And I go to my dad, and he's like, he doesn't hate Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But he doesn't approve of what the bad things that Trump did. I'm like, what bad things did he do? And he can't tell me.
Right. I know. I do encourage the ladies who are pro-Trump to not worry your pretty little heads about politics, though, because it's kind of cringy and wrong and inappropriate, out of place, out of order, to be all into the politics thing. And
that's true.
You're cutting off. I mean, some of them are cutting off opportunities and their life by getting into that stuff.
Well, unfortunately, old school Americans made the mistake of letting women vote. So,
I know. It's true. So they came from Trinidad. And then they split up, huh?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened. That's between them. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Luckily, I got included in JLP's knowledge, and I forgave both of them. So now it's just you guys stay over there, and I'll stay right here.
Right on, man. You're out on your own. How old are you, if you don't mind my asking?
I am 31.
Okay. Nice age.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool,
yeah,
man.
I realized. I think I realized a little bit too late, but I mean, I guess it's never too late, right?
True. You realize too late what? Realize what too late?
That I had to forgive him.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah,
yeah.
that's not that late.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But it is crazy though. My political views. You know what I'm saying? Even though my mom still has hatred in her heart, she's still more morally sound than my dad. It blows my mind. I have no idea how that worked out.
Yeah. You never know. You never know. There's, it's kind of like me. I've kind of wondered, I guess it's just that I was white and I was raised like a normal Christian conservative kid.
Hey, well, he's right, man.
Yeah, I know. And, but that's not enough, though. It's kind of like knowing the earth is a ball. It doesn't put you ahead in life.
I disavow the flat earthers.
Yeah, it doesn't put you ahead in life. It's you have the right political opinions. What good does that do you? It's
right.
It's life is much more in the small things and what you're doing in your spirit and heart. So that's why a lot of times the conservatives lose, because we're not right. We're liberals in that we're angry. Like you said, your mother's angry in her heart. So
yes,
nice, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm just out, living my life. I don't even oh man, it's kind of crazy because I'm literally living on the road.
Okay,
you know what I mean. And I'm a traveling welder, and I'm literally just living by faith now, and it's got me doing everything. It got me doing everything almost right. It almost feels like, and especially since now I see how the world works. You know what I mean? It's really easy to navigate. I don't know why people make it so complicated.
So you're like a gypsy. You're like you don't live in one. You didn't settle in one place and have a regular job. You're a traveling. You said you're a traveling what?
I'm a traveling welder.
Welder. Oh, okay. Oh no, that's respectable. Okay, I thought that you didn't. So you line up a job at this location around the whole country.
Yeah, around the whole country.
Wow. Oh, that's respectable. Okay, I thought you were just flying by the seat of your pants, which some people do.
No, man.
Okay. Yeah, I heard. Ashley said I heard trampoline welder. I thought you said trampoline something, which is the bouncy thing.
Man.
I'm like, this guy is like, is he an acrobat in a circus? What is this guy?
I'm jumping while welding, man. I'm telling you,
Nice.
it's a hard life.
That's cool. It's a good skill to have. Welding is useful.
Yeah.
Right.
No, most definitely. I still remember my dad. He's like, why are you going into trade? You should go to school. Why are you going into a trade? You should go. I'm sitting here just thinking about it, and I'm like, I have no debt.
Yeah.
I've got. Sorry, almost cursed. I've got a crap ton of money in the bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my parents split, so my dad's sitting there with his wife, my stepmom, and she takes all his money and uses it on stupid stuff and all this crap. And I'm like, Dad, just stop focusing on me for a second.
Right. I know. Good point.
You know what I mean?
Very good point. Yeah, Dad, check yourself. I know. I've noticed that too myself when I'm getting ready for church with Jesse Lee Peterson. I'm his producer, purportedly, right?
Yes.
And I'm looking at the engineer sitting around laughing and talking, and I'm looking at the other people, and then I'm like, as long as I do what I need to do,
right,
and then I can come back and yell at them, and if I need to. But at least I'm ready with my stuff. Pay attention to your own stuff first.
Exactly.
Very true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just don't. What the only thing I don't understand about that, right, is the liberal agenda is so powerful, right?
Yeah.
That my dad moved to America and immediately started to identify with the blackness.
Wow.
And I remember a vivid. Listen. I came here when I was 10, and I remember a vivid memory of my dad saying, "Hey, I hear that the cops are really hard on black people. So
gosh.
make sure when we're driving, all right, you got your seatbelt on and this and that and the other." I'm like, okay. Now I look back on it, I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah, I know. You would have been better off just him not saying anything, because you were probably raised with some sense, with two parents at least at first.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I mean, luckily my parents were. I'm not going to say they were good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they were not.
Luckily,
they were not excessively loosey-goosey.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No. I apologize.
I was saying they weren't excessively loosey-goosey.
Right.
Where your dad is like, can't stand the mother and leave you to her.
Right. Exactly. My dad, he was still there, and both my parents were still in communication with me when I was growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was still, because they came from the Caribbean, so Caribbean's like, real old school.
Right. Yep.
My mom didn't work, and my dad, he was the head of the household kind of deal. So for the first 10 years of my life, I'm not kidding you, man. I think I grew up pretty straight and narrow.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then when we came to America, it all went out of whack.
Terrible. It's a spoiling country. It's terrible.
It really is, man. It really is.
I bet you they got horrified at some points, maybe, at how Americanized you got and degenerate, maybe.
Actually, funny enough, so my dad is actually a martial artist, and I've been doing what he teaches. He's got his own karate school and stuff like that. And so I've been doing martial arts since I was 3. So I grew up with heavy discipline.
Nice.
So when I came to America and I went through high school, and the only real option that I saw at the time was the military, because it literally fit how I was, how I lived growing up.
Yeah.
My dad was like, "No, what are you doing?"
That's pretty funny, man.
So I went in, I became a Marine, and my dad's like, well, now he's all proud of the fact that I went and became a Marine. And
that's funny.
He's telling me. But no, I don't want to hold you up too much. I know you got other callers, but I just I thought I'd give you a good chuckle.
Nice, man. Appreciate the stories and the input.
Yeah, of course.
It's good to hear from you, Michael.
Of course, man. You as well.
All right, call me
again.
again
Don't hear back to me soon enough.
I know, huh? All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye. Did you hear about this? Real quick, let me tell you a story or two. There's a shakeup in San Jose, California. I don't have any clips or pictures from this. This is from the far left females at the Skim reporting today. Earlier this week, federal officials charged the executive director of the San Jose Police Union with importing synthetic opioids and distributing them in the United States. According to federal officials, Joanne, sounds like a woman's name, Marianne Segovia. I don't know what this woman is. I'm assuming it's a woman. Nowadays, you can't assume anything. Imported fentanyl and other synthetic opioids worth thousands of dollars from places like Hong Kong, Hungary, India, Singapore. She, according to the Skim, it is a she, ordered at least 61 shipments over the course of about 8 years that were labeled as wedding party favors, gift makeup, or chocolate and sweets. Segovia has been put on leave. If convicted, she faces up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. And it looks like a white woman, but I'm not sure. I just searched the name. Sorry, I don't have the picture for you guys. Joanne, Joan, Joanne, Marian, Marian, Segovia. Sounds like it might be an Italian last name or something like that, but I don't know. She's the female chairman of the San Jose, 64 years old, police union. San Jose's like Silicon Valley. crazy. Terrible. Speaking of drugs, watch out for sugar. This is a tweet by Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. I say it a little bit less mockingly than Dr. Jill Biden, but that's the so-called first lady of Obama. I mean, Trump. I mean, Biden, not Trump. Thank God, not Trump. Imagine Trump had to be married to Dr. Jill Biden. Anyway, Jordan B. Peterson tweeted this. Slow poison. Oh, that's not a very good voice impression. Other people do the nicer voice impressions of him. Slow poison. Vast majority, over 40, are diabetic by the standards applied to 20-year-olds. At Elon Musk. Probably and unfortunately you too. And he quote tweeted, Elon Musk tweeting, I eat a donut every morning. Still alive. Nick says, based Elon. Not a keto tard. And so I looked, I'm like, what's the context of Elon Musk tweeting that he eats a donut every morning, still alive? He was replying to Peter, I should say doctor, but he didn't say doctor. Peter H. Diamandis, MD, which means medical doctor. So I guess that means he put doctor in his title. Who tweeted, sugar is poison. Sugar is poison. And so when Elon Musk said he's still alive eating a donut every morning, I guess there's sugar in donuts. Not I guess. There is sugar in donuts. Kids. So Peter Diamandis replied, okay, Elon, allow me to be more specific. Sugar is a slow poison. And I'm like, it's tempting to be like, well, if it's so slow, how do you know it's real? It's kind of like climate change or stuff like that. It's a Kermit the Frog voice, Hake. I know, I didn't want to do it because everybody does it. It's too trendy to mock Jordan B. Peterson's voice. And I respect him too much. That's Dr. Jordan B. Peterson to you. Anyway. No, but I know that it is because I know that sugar is poison because when I had sugar, it causes inflammation. My nose starts running. I start sneezing. It's like I get more allergies all of a sudden. Not that I have allergies. And I noticed too that you eat more natural sugar, like fruits, and you eat vegetables and stuff, you feel a lot better. I do anyway. Everything has sugar, even sugar. This is Germanic Spaniard. There's sugar on sugar? Are you allergic to sugar? No, it just I heard, Dr. Singh said it, that it causes inflammation. You eat a candy bar, you get a runny nose. Sugar is our enemy. People's teeth get messed up from sugar. So, just an interesting side note. Thought I would share it. Man. I don't know if I'm going to get to this George Soros story. Let me get to Devin in Oregon, who's on the line. Devin, how are you doing? Devon, I forgot.
Hey.
Devon in Oregon.
Nah, hey.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Doing well. How about you?
Oh man, I'm living a wonderful life, man.
Right on.
But I had a question for you today, man.
Okay.
I was wondering because I know you had on your laptop or whatever, you had the Confederate flag, and then you switched it up and had the Patriot there, right? And then you switched back to the Confederate flag.
Right.
Am I right? Yeah.
That's correct.
I just was wondering what does that mean for you, or what are you got family from the South, or?
No, it's just patriotism. I have this. This is a Continental Soldier of the Revolution on this postcard here, and then also it's the beautiful rebel flag from the beautiful South, which is much maligned and unjustly and falsely maligned by the Yankees in the liberals the anti-whites, the anti-Christian people. So I wear it in, I don't wear it. I do sometimes wear it. But I fly this beautiful patch flag motif in defiance and rebellion, but also to show love and respect, because it's really about love.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of people, it's a big thing in the South, man. When I moved, I actually grew up in California, lived on a military base in Hawaii, and then ended up spending most of, like, basically high school and college in the South. So it was a big, like, culture shock for me.
Oh, yeah.
Out there. Yeah, because I was so used to just, like, intermingling with everybody, but out there it was kind of, everybody was kind of split up on their own just because they were used to it.
Right.
But man, but it was, it was that stigmatism with the Confederate flag, and I never really understood why everybody was so worried about it.
Right.
And especially with my family members, because my father's side of my family, they're all black, so. And everybody that my family out there is predominantly black, so a lot of them, they don't really fool with the Confederate flag.
Okay.
But it didn't really mean nothing to me. It's just a flag.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, but
I used to see it on Dukes of Hazzard, and I would see it in the South, and I would see it in like NASCAR and other places, and it was just people like it. I think some people get too caught up in favor of it, and some people get way too caught up against it. Most of the culture is brainwashed against it. They think it's racism, as if it's a real thing. So
yeah, for the longest, that's what I thought it was too, man. A lot of people had me thinking the same thing. It don't mean nothing to me. Overall, main flag that mattered to me is the American flag, man. 50 stars and the stripes, man. That's what my dad fought for this country, man. So
nice.
That's why I respect it, man.
Yeah.
But it was something else I was going to ask you about. I can't even remember what it was, man. I lost my train of thought. But,
no worries.
But and I know you were talking about something else on the show. Oh man, I wish I could remember, man. But I appreciate you, taking my call, Hake, man. And hey, look, I know, if you look at the original name and how my name is spelled, it is like Devonshire. So technically, it is Devon.
Oh, okay.
So technically, it is Devon.
Yeah.
But you know how people are. They change stuff as time goes along. So. And my mom called me that, so I always just thought that was my name was DEVON. Until when I went to college, this boy told me, he's like, "Man, your name is Devon. I don't care what you say."
That's funny, man.
It was hilarious because I was like, "Man, you seem serious."
Right. That's pretty interesting. The blacks like to make it sound more black, which that's fine. And you can pronounce it how you want. It's kind of like Joel. Joel versus Joel.
My mom is Hispanic.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm half Hispanic, half black. Man.
Okay.
Actually, technically, Portuguese. I think technically, my mom's side of her family, her surname is Portuguese or something, and then my father's side, they got a little bit of mixture of white in there, but they predominantly black. But I have some Scottish on that side too. Oh,
right on. Yeah, I have some Scottish in me too. Maybe we're related.
Hey, you never know, man.
I know.
You never know. You're a nice dude, Hake, man. And like I always say, man, don't let the children of the lie get in your head, man, because I know they be coming at you and JLP and everybody else. So y'all just keep doing y'all thing, man, and I appreciate y'all, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, man.
Well, thank you, man. Call me again sometime, Devon. Take care. DEVON.
Will do.
All right.
It don't matter, man. Will do, man.
All right. Adios. Real fast, I gotta cover this. I promised. George Soros and Alvin Bragg sitting in a tree. Ben Collins tweeted, Donald Trump, Don Jr., and Ron DeSantis have all claimed that Alvin Bragg, who's the Manhattan DA, black, he took over after Cyrus Vance, a white man, did not charge Trump. But Alvin Bragg, they've all claimed that he's Soros-backed or aligned since the news of the indictment dropped. In reality, Soros has never even met or spoken to Alvin Bragg, according to CNBC's story from last week. That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant to whether he is Soros-backed. I will have you know, Mr. Ben Collins, probably not a Christian, NBC, I think, reporter guy, sleazebag, journalist, anti-American. And he shares this article from CNBC. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg's ties to billionaire George Soros are not as close as Republicans claim. All we say for the most part is Soros-backed. So it doesn't say that he's close or not. And that's an article by Brian Schwartz. And this guy has some gems in his bio. This Brian Schwartz guy, bios, he has multiple bios, right? This Brian Schwartz guy, let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, okay, so the CNBC thing, Schwartz has the inside track, probably not a Christian, by the way, on the efforts that donors are making to influence policies and to control who has the power within the government. But it looks like he's trying to play what's that called? Confusion. Play defense. I can't even think of the word. It's like either a military interference. Thank you, Nick. Nick knows. Run interference for George Soros. Is this Brian Schwartz guy a fellow non-Christian like George Soros is a non-Christian? Very anti-Christian, actually. And by the way, on his Twitter bio, very interesting side note, or it's mildly interesting, he was born in 1990. He's just a little young whippersnapper. I mean, he's 33, but I guess that makes him 33, right? But look what he says right here. Thoughts are my own. Wrong. I only know that because of the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Thoughts are not your own, but it makes sense when JLP asks, where do your thoughts come from? They're not your own. Thoughts are my own. So says the God-denying and unchristian Brian Schwartz. I don't know. Maybe he is a Christian. Maybe I'm profiling his name as Jewish or something, and it's not even Jewish. But he's from New York, and he's also working in the media, and he's also trying to give legitimacy to the notion. Going back to his headline, one of the major points is Democrats and outside experts, meaning activists, have often described attacks on Soros, who is Jewish, and the groups that receive donations from the billionaire as anti-Semitic. Funny, huh? And so George Soros responds to the GOP attacks. Oh, he's under attack. Oh, this poor little billionaire. I don't know him. Look at him. He looks so sincere. I don't know him. Is that how he sounds? I feel like that's how he sounds. He sounds somewhat like not as bad as Zelensky. Maybe not even as bad as the fellow unchristian DOJ head, the Attorney General, Merrick Garland. Anti-Defamation League reported that conspiracy theories surrounding Soros. I didn't even know Soros was Jewish when I was going in with the Tea Party stuff against Soros. And I didn't even think of Soros as being like the single one head bad guy, because I could see that my cohort, my fellow millennials and younger, are a bunch of dumb, brainwashed, sorry kids, cover your ears, idiots, liberals. So anyway, he wrote an op-ed in the Rhino outlet Wall Street Journal. What? Soros wrote an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal? Why he has donated to reform-minded prosecutors. This guy was for the Black Lives Matter, supporting Cuban ex-Republican turned communist George Gascon, LA DA, who's also supported by Black Lives Matter, and the Netflix CEO. So it's all of Globo, Homo, and commie capitalists and mainstream media, and it's not just George Soros, it's all of them, but he never supports anything good. It's all trash. He supported Color of Change, which is a radical black on the inside and on the outside. Black and dark and evil on the inside. BLM, he supported BLM, Black Lives Matter. I've heard that he's supported other subversive stuff in other countries and destroyed them and rebuilt them in his image, which is Satan. Not his image, Satan's image, because it's not even his image. But anyway, he said greater investment needs to happen. Both justice and safety need to be advanced in the criminal justice system. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Well, wolf in wolf's clothing, to be honest. Reform-minded prosecutors and law enforcement officials have rallied around a more effective and just agenda. This is why I have supported the election and re-election of prosecutors who support reform, he said in the op-ed. That the Rhino outlet Wall Street Journal, enemies of the whites and Christians. Wall Street Journal is supposedly conservative. They're not. They hate PewDiePie. They called him a Nazi because he just made fun of pretending to salute Hitler one time. And he's funny. Anyway, PewDiePie. He's white. And he's not even a Christian. He's a liberal. PewDiePie is. I think he's an atheist. The funds I provide enable sensible, reform-minded candidates to receive a hearing from the public. What an evil person. What a sucker. Man, this is the end of the show, guys. Artie Art from Ohio wanted to talk about Kamala. Is cackling Kamala Harris a fall guy when they mess up? Or I don't know exactly what his point is. Call me next week, Artie Art from Ohio. Baby. You can probably catch him on Nickstream. Sometimes he calls Nickstream the Anchor Baby Show. He'll be on Friday, today, 4 p.m. Pacific time. The Fallen State is going to be happening also today. And, of course, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson on Sunday. Any super chats that I may have missed, you're going to have to wait until next week, guys. Spoiler alert, gave a tip. By the way, Kim Potter gets out of prison next month. She's the taser gun oopsie. And also, he also gave a super chat reminder that professional talk therapy is just Jews' paid subscription replacement for close friends and family. Yeah, good point. I hadn't caught that, man. I hadn't caught that. Thanks for the heads up on my missing your prior Ko-Fi. Yeah, they're replacing God, Christianity, family, close friends with my therapist. Dumb. Anyway, guys, last track. This is not Mary Rice Hopkins. This is Christian music, though. This is The Donut Man, also known as Rob Evans. Children. And it has a little girl in it. That's why it's Women's History, you know. Last day. We cherish women. Well, anyway, adios, America. Bye.
Children, come and listen. Come and hear of Jesus' love. Children, come and see him. Come and see how Jesus loves. Children, come and touch him. Come and touch our Bible friend. Jesus, come and bless us. Come and bless us with your love. Children, come and listen. Come and hear of Jesus' love. Children, come and see him. Come and see how Jesus loves. Children, come and touch him. Come and touch our Bible friend. Jesus, come and bless us. Come and bless us with your love.
Hey, let's invite everybody.
Yeah!
This is going to be great fun.
Come on, everybody.
Children, come and listen. Come and hear of Jesus' love. Children, come and see him. Come and see how Jesus loves. Children, come and touch him. Come and touch our Bible friend. Jesus, come and bless us. Come and bless us with
'Cause Lord, there's nothing better than your love. Come and bless us with your love.